Hi and welcome back to Joe Talks Cars and welcome to another video. Welcome the Mercedes Sl63 to the channel. I'm going to be taking this car out for a drive, telling you what it's like on the road, what it's like to live with, and ultimately, would I recommend that you choose one? The Sl63 is a car that I feel has been forgotten over the years. The SL used to be the daddy, used to be the ultimate car to have. With every other car coming out, lots of big front-engined cars like the F-Type and things like that, the SL has just blurred into the background. It's reborn, as you can see here in the 2023 plate form, and it's gained a couple of extra seats, which is a little bit unusual. But anyway, this is the AMG 63, so this is the top spec SL. Features a 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 engine, which is common across all of Mercedes AMG range. This time it produces 577 horsepower. But this car in this colour, with the clouds looking as dramatic as they are, looks absolutely stunning. I just want to make a special mention to Mercedes UK for inviting me down here to Milton Keynes to take this thing out. I've got the car for the next few hours. I'm going to drive it on the roads around here and just give you an idea of what it's like to live with, what it's like to drive, and yeah, how do I think this compares to a Porsche 911? Because now it's gained its back seats, albeit them a bit useless. It's more of a 911 rival than it used to be. But anyway, I think that's enough waffle from me talking about what this thing looks like. The most important thing with an SL is how it drives. So let's get this thing out onto the road and go and enjoy some of these country roads. Right, well I think the only way to experience this car, now it's not raining, is with the roof off. Let's boot it out here because the car's actually warm, so let's see what's what. Oh. I hope the camera's picking that up. The exhaust. Wow. That's a lot quicker than I expected. Oh! The sound of it, it sounds like guns going off behind you. And for once, it actually has purpose to that. It's not a Vauxhall Corsa doing pop and back. Listen to that exhaust. So like I said earlier, this car is the 4-litre twin turbocharged car. It's the most powerful SL you can buy because it's the 63. That signifies the best one. And I had the whole range to choose from, and obviously pick the most powerful one. Full launch out of here. Blimey, like, wow, the thrust. It's not even acceleration, it's like thrust. It's really powerful, there's just so much torque, you can really feel it pushing you into your seat. Now, when I first got the opportunity to drive the SL, it was at the SMMT. I didn't really know what to expect from the SL because, like I said earlier, I feel like the SL's kind of just disappeared. It used to be the daddy, it used to be the thing that everyone wanted. I remember being at school and it was the days when Jeremy Clarkson famously had the SL63 AMG, and it's a car I always wanted with those spoked alloys, and yeah, it's just it's a poster car for me. It's something I've always wanted. And then when I was able to drive, and actually those cars are not that expensive anymore, I've no inclination to buy one. I ended up getting a Porsche. So it is strange where it's kind of gone. And I feel that Mercedes have actually brought it back. And I know I said this about the AMG 4-door. If you've watched my video, you'll be tired of me saying this, but I talked about how Mercedes AMG 4-door had been kind of forgotten, it had not been picked up by the press. There was no real hype around it, and that thing is like a Veyron with 4 doors. And I think the SL's another one that has just slipped through the net. Maybe when it's come out, everyone's kind of thought, yeah, it's just another SL, big V8 SL. But they've actually redesigned it. It's actually a totally different car. It's got a pair of back seats for a start, which makes it a little bit more practical. I mean, they're not that usable, but it's a back seat nonetheless. It's got four-wheel drive, their first for an SL. And I can categorically say that the four-wheel drive, coupled with this engine, makes it a formidable B-road blaster. You may be forgetting that this is actually a sports car. People will say it's more of a GT, but when it comes to the sports car stuff, it does it really well. The brakes are absolutely sublime. This car is fitted with the optional carbon ceramic brakes, and the bite on them is just tear your face off. These brakes, they're just unbelievable. I'm going to do an emergency stop in a second. I hope the camera doesn't fall off, but we're going to go along in a 60-mile-an-hour road, 50 miles an hour, and I'm going to stamp on them. Oh, I didn't come to a full stop, but wow, you get the idea. The forces on your body when you accelerate in this and then decelerate. Honestly, you have to see it to believe it. You have to be in it. I hope the camera is doing this justice. I hope I can convey what this feels like, because it's so Mercedes-Benz. It's so old school Benz. Listen to that roar. And then when you lift off, there's just pops and bangs. And it's just utterly fabulous. I'm a huge fan of the convertible. I've had many, many convertibles, and I always miss them. As soon as the weather turns good, I kind of miss it. For times like these, it's not too hot. There's clouds in the sky, it's all looking really dramatic, and we're throwing an Sl63 around some of these back roads. There's no one about. I am just going to concentrate now. Got some twisties coming up. I genuinely don't think they'll be a lot quicker on a back road than this. The only thing that lets it down, and it's not its weight. You'll hear a lot of people say it's too heavy to be a sports car. It's not its weight. It's just the size of it. It's a big car. It just makes me smile. It's so powerful. There's so much wind noise. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me, but it just adds to the theatre, to the drama of it. The best thing with the SL, and it's the thing that I think you would choose an SL over a 911 for, and it's what the SL does better, is you slow it down, put the car into its comfiest setting, sit back and just relax. It's quiet, the seats are unbelievably comfortable, they've got tons of adjustment, just like on any Mercedes, and you can just waft. It doesn't even make a noise. You can hear that slight burble of the V8, which is always good. And yeah, it's just a really pleasant cabin to sit in, really nice. As with all Mercedes, and I've talked about this in plenty of other videos about Mercedes, I just think they're getting their interiors spot on. The blend of touchscreen and physical buttons is the best in class. Not only that, but it's so intuitive to use. Everything you look at, everything you touch is just in the right place. You go to reach for something and it's exactly where you expect it to be. You don't have to fumble around and try and work it out. I've jumped in and out of 3 Mercedes today, and every single time I've just felt right at home. I've been able to get used to it straight away, adjust the seat, temperature, turn the radio off, that type of stuff. And when you do car YouTube videos like me, and you're in and out of lots of press cars, you will know how bad it is when you jump in something and the music's blaring and your aircon's blasting and you can't stop it. Not without reading the manual. It's bad. So yeah, massive plus for Mercedes right there. In terms of how it feels just to use as an everyday car, the boot's fairly good. There's seating for 4, albeit a bit tiny, but you can legally put someone there, and I think that stands for a lot. A sports car that has a pair of back seats, no matter how small, is a good thing. It means you can legally squeeze someone in there. And actually, with the roof off, you'd be okay. But like I said, this thing just cruises so nicely. And perfect timing, the weather. So 30 miles an hour, I don't know if it'll do it any quicker, but you can actually put the roof back on while you're moving. So we're going to pop the roof back on while we're cruising along. We're doing 30 miles an hour. And here comes the roof, because we're going to need it, because yeah, it's going to be a massive downpour. Oh no! Come on! The roof is quick. There is another plus point for Mercedes. It's a good job, because we're about to get absolutely soaked. And with the roof on, again, it's a totally different experience. You've got this really dark headliner, of course, it's soft top. The car feels more sporty with the roof on, it's darker, you feel more enclosed. The ride and the seating position is just perfect. I don't know if Mercedes do this on purpose, they must do, but you can see the two bumps in the bonnet when you're driving along, and it makes you feel like you've got something powerful under there. And you have. 577 horsepower. We often take horsepower for granted these days in the world of electric. Everyone has got 500 horsepower cars. But it's a lot of horsepower. 577 horsepower is a lot. And even though this car weighs a lot, I'm not sure on the curb weight, but it's going to be 1.7 tonne at least. Even in comfort mode, you're off. You're absolutely flying. This is a 9-speed gearbox, and it soon races up through the gears in comfort mode and just cruises quite happily at really, really low RPM. It's an extremely lazy engine, really good for cruising and touring around. Where I would love to take one of these is up to Scotland. I would love for Mercedes to lend me one of these and take it up through Ben Nevis and go up and explore the Highlands in this, maybe go on the Isle of Skye. Can you imagine an SL63 on Skye, just bombing about? This is the perfect car for that. Scotland roads are just lovely, wide open, sweeping bends, but there are hazards, and it's a long way for most people to get there. So I think this would be an excellent choice. The SL for me is a poster car, and they say never meet your heroes, and the SL is one of my heroes. The SL55 that Jeremy Clarkson drove is one of my heroes. This is the new version, and it totally excels. I'm not disappointed by it at all. The little taster I got at the SMMT was just the beginning. I'm so glad of the opportunity to come down here and drive it, because my time with that car was not done. I needed to find out more. I would also like to take this opportunity as well, totally off topic, to thank every single person that's taken their time to watch my videos and subscribe. I've hit some amazing milestones this month. Not only have some of you bought me a coffee using my link, they've also hit super thanks. It's really helping me, and it really does help the channel progress. But more than that, people have hit subscribe. I've had record subscriber numbers this month alone. I've actually topped over 100,000 views in July alone. That's a fairly big number for a small channel like mine, and I'm super humbled by that. And it's everyone that's watching and everyone that's subscribing and interacting with my content that's allowing me to do stuff like this. I never imagined in my wildest dreams, when I was stood at the side of the road a couple of years ago during lockdown, filming myself awkwardly on my phone, that one day I'd be going down to Mercedes UK and taking out £200,000 cars and just flying around on the roads on my own. Honestly, it's a dream, and I want to thank every single person that has supported that journey. This car is clearly very well spec'd. I'm not sure on the exact spec, but when Mercedes send them over, I'll put it all in the description for you to have a look at, and the price, of course. But I expect this car to be around 200,000 with all of its options. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this style of video. Like, I'm trying to get out in more different cars, more exciting cars, and yeah, it's been a dream come true, genuinely, and I just cannot thank you all enough for it. Really, really does mean a lot. So if you haven't already, then please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and keep this momentum going, because I can see my channel exceeding all of my wildest dreams. It already has done, and it seems that it's going to continue to grow massively. So anyway, what do I think of the SL63? Do I genuinely think this could make a 911 rival? Well, no. It's not really a 911 rival, because it's too different. The only similarities I can tell with this and the 911 is the price point and the rear seats. Both rear seats are useless, and they're both really expensive. Where this differs is it obviously uses a V8 turbo. That's a totally different vibe. The V8 versus a flat 6 is a totally different prospect. Where the 911 is delicate and sports car-like, this is more like a Super GT. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If I was to travel across Europe and maybe head to the Nürburgring, a 911 or an SL, I'd take the SL every single day of the week. And that says everything you need to know. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for plenty more videos like this one to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.